What's up? What's happening? Welcome in. It's Oppen Show. We're on the Team 980. We're always live as well on the free Odyssey app. And literally in the commercial break here, since the Russell show ended and since we began,
Breaking news. Oh, snap. News is broken. Breaking news.
we have fairly significant breaking news on the Commanders front. I don't know fully what it means yet. We're going to obviously get a lot more on this, hopefully, as the show goes. But the Commanders just announced 2 minutes ago that they have named Mark Clouse, and I hope that I'm getting Mark's last name pronounced correctly. Mark Clouse has been named the team president, overseeing all facets of the organization's business operations. This is from the press release. Clouse, spelled C-L-O-U-S-E, joins the Commanders from the Campbell's company, where he served as the president and CEO since 2019, overseeing a portfolio of brands that includes Campbell's, it's in the soup company, Rouse, the sauce company, or the sauce brand, Goldfish, Pepperidge Farm, and more. He will begin in his new role in late January. Statement from Josh Harris, of course, the managing partner of the Commanders. In Mark, we have found a dynamic leader with a stellar track record of guiding organizations to excellence, building brands that connect deeply with consumers, and ultimately delivering best-in-class experiences and lasting memories. Mark shares our commitment to using the power of the Commanders franchise to bring people together. As a military veteran and accomplished business builder, he has a proven ability to strengthen both the organizations he leads and the communities he serves. I'm confident in Mark's dedication to building a championship-caliber organization and to support football operations in our drive for excellence on the field. At Campbell's, he led this again from the press release, so I'm doing the thing that I kind of hate, which is just reading the press release from the people who are trying to send their message in whatever way. I am reading this to you for the first time that I am reading it myself. This could lead, if like Sean and the team over at Commanders PR wanted to ever have me have a Ron Burgundy moment, Anthony, where I just read the script that was in front of me and they wanted to get me, this would be the time, because this is how fresh this news is here. I'm just reading. You got any better ideas?
No, I'm on Twitter right now as you do that, so
Okay.
I'm trying to look for more.
Okay, if you find anything over in that hellscape, you let me know. At Campbell's, Clouse has led a transformation that reshaped the company's strategy and portfolio to fuel growth. Under his leadership, Campbell's has built a high-performing culture with industry-leading employee engagement while delivered consistently strong business results while making a lasting impact on Campbell's communities. Okay, that's PR jargon. And I hope it's true. Just sure. He brings more than 30 years of leadership experience to the Commanders organization. He's a graduate of West Point, so that's pretty big time. He played on the basketball team at West Point. He began his career in the U.S. Army, serving for 6.5 years as a helicopter pilot and rising to the rank of captain by the end of his service. Following that, he joined Kraft Foods for a variety of management positions over a 15-year stint with the company, and then was named president of North America at Mondelez in 2012, later served as their chief commercial officer, and then was named the CEO of Pinnacle Foods, driving significant growth for the company. And then January 19, he was named Campbell's president and CEO. He says in a statement that he is incredibly grateful to Josh Harris and the Washington Commanders ownership group for their opportunity to lead this iconic franchise into a new chapter of growth, said incoming president Mark Clouse. The Commanders' passionate fan base, which has stood by this team for decades, deserves nothing less than our unwavering commitment to excellence. I look forward to supporting ownership as well as Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and doing everything in our power to build a championship caliber organization. He's married. His wife is named Kathy, and they have two sons, Spencer and Logan. Spencer spelled with an S, not only at the beginning, but in the middle. That's the breaking news. That's the lowdown. Anthony, have you found anything on Twitter?
I haven't found anything. Everybody just saying he'll be overseeing, or I guess he'll only be involved in the business operation. But
right.
You already touched on that.
I did. I read that out of the press release,
Yes.
which is the same press release that everyone else is reading from.
All right, one thing I will add.
Yes.
He was at Sunday's game.
Well, yeah, because they included, this is how fresh this is. I on YouTube right now, I got a graphic about the run game. That's how fresh this breaking news is. They also did include a picture of him, which That's the picture of him and Josh Harris,
Yep.
which I didn't just put on the screen in a way that you'd like to put a graphic on the screen for the YouTube audience. Nope, I held up my phone to the camera because that's how fresh this is. And actually, Anthony, as I was reading, that kind of gets me to a take, if you will. You know why nobody knows anything but what's in the press release?
Because there are no leaks.
Because there are no leaks. And I think we've all been distracted, in fairness to us, with the football stuff. And it's not like on the business front, there's been a lot of attention on this. Obviously, it's kind of been happening in the background. And, I'm sure that this is not a total surprise to whichever reporters consider this a part of their portfolio. But on the business side, the thing we've been focused on is the RFK stuff, which it feels like a good time to mention. We'll have Eric Flack on at 6 o'clock to discuss. So Flack, 6 o'clock on the RFK news. Why did Steve Daines finally let this bill out of committee? And what's the chances that it passes? And if it doesn't, then what? And also, why was Adam Silver at the game? Could the Wizards be involved in this? We'll get all that with Flack at 6 o'clock. But the fact that there were no leaks, not a single, we don't know anything about who was involved in this process. And think back, even to the coaching search, even to the GM search. I guess the GM search happened pretty instantly. It was yep, they are getting, I guess we found out the Bob Myers and Rick Spielman thing. And then we knew they would interview Adam Peters. Pretty quickly, it was Adam Peters. But we kind of even knew the Bob Myers thing. They announced that, whatever. And then they, the way a typical GM search and coaching search go, Schefter and Rappaport and all those people can get a lot of information, and Keim and Nikki and Ben here get information, not only because they know people in the organization, and at that point some people were willing to talk, some people weren't, but there's agents involved, and agents are often the best sources. They want to talk because they want their clients' names in the news because that makes them a hotter commodity. I don't know that the new Commanders team president, I don't know that Mark Clouse or Mark Close, we need to, I'll double check that in the break. But that he has an agent. I don't think the president of Campbell's Soup and all the brands that are underneath the Campbell's company has an agent. So this was Josh Harris working in the background with probably Mitch Rales and Mark Ein to some extent. And now they have their guy. And this guy's led a massive corporation with deep ties to the NFL. Think of how many Campbell's Chunky Soup commercials you see. This group is tied to the NFL. They understand how to market to NFL fans. Or he understands how to market to NFL fans, assuming that he was a part of some of those initiatives. He comes from a commercial background. And on those levels, this seems like a pretty freaking smart hire. Obviously the last team president was Jason Wright, who came from a crisis management background at a time that they needed crisis management. But instead of just using him as a consultant, the Snyders were like, hey, actually, you want to just run this thing from the inside? And Jason was basically like, sure. Very different process. I don't know how many other people they interviewed. I don't know how many people they talked to about, potential larger role where you have some control over football or anything. I'm guessing zero, because that's the other part of this, right? Is keeping these things separate, allowing Adam Peters, who I'm sure was told when he was hired, you will not report to anybody but the owner. By leaving the president job open above Adam Peters, who I believe is just general manager. I do not believe he is president and general manager. That does allow you to eventually promote Adam Peters as well, should you want to. And then, a Ben Sosna or one of these other rising superstars in the Commanders front office, you promote that person who's currently, or even Lance Newmark, the assistant GM. These guys are going to start to get interviews for other jobs, and you need upward mobility for them, and you preserve that on the football side by having an open spot as a president of football operations level for Adam Peters. So that's nice. Seems like a good hire. But I think the biggest takeaway, Anthony, is what just happened to all of us? We learned because
there were no leaks.
There were no leaks. So that changes the vibe. To an extent of the show and Vibe Check Tuesday. We can talk football. We can also talk this. We're going to go make some calls and see if we can get anybody with any particular insight on this. I don't know who's on the Campbell soup beat. Anthony, any ideas? Can we get Mama Kelsey on the show? She's done a soup commercial.
That would be tough to do.
I mean, she does interviews.
Yeah.
See how good a producer you are. Yeah. What?
My light is flickering over here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me that look because you're like, are you serious right now? Which also, in fairness, would have been fair.
That too.
But we're going to make some calls, see if we can get anybody who can get any more insight on this. And we'll take your calls at 301-230-0980. Again, the breaking news, the Commanders have a new team president. Mark Clouse is the new team president for the Commanders. We're talking about that and where the Commanders are from a football sense going into this bye week next with you on The Hoffman Show.